Hey, Michelle.
Hey Mel, how are you? We're
I'm,
back after a
I
couple of weeks
know.
off.
Yeah, it's so good to be with you. It's good to see you.
You
And
too, you
thank
too.
you, viewers, listeners, for joining us today. So, what's
hmm
on your mind, Michelle?
Well, I know that when we were just talking offline before, you were talking about how excited you were about a couple of our episodes of Lead to Soar that are coming up because you had some fun editing them. So I figured, well, let's hear what you're excited about. And then I've got a special offer for our viewers, our watchers, our listeners around financial acumen. So we'll talk about financial acumen and a workshop we've got coming up.
Excellent. That's right. Okay, so the Lead to Soar podcast, that is our podcast. It's part of A Career That Soars. You can listen to it for free on any major podcast platform or at leadtosoar.com. And so, financial acumen, I'll mention that we talked about that. We talked about the importance of financial acumen on a recent episode. You can find it titled Money, Money, Money. And it's also a really good episode. And if you're not convinced that you need financial acumen for your career, you should go back and listen to that one. That's been one of our more popular episodes. And then upcoming, yes, I'd love to tell you the next two that are about to come out. I think they're so good. One of them is a
Sorry to interrupt, Mel.
yeah.
I have to say it's so interesting because our episodes come out on Thursday night US, Friday morning Australian, Asia, Australia, New Zealand time. And I get a real surprise because I forget, we've recorded them and I go, oh, that's right, that's this one. And then I have a listen and I must admit, people, I hate hearing my own voice. I go, oh, I don't mind. Because, sometimes I go, oh, God, shut up, Michelle. But I listen every Friday because I go, oh, that's right. That was a good one. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So even I go, oh, what's coming up? Because I forget.
Totally. Yeah, it's a treat for me when I go through and edit them, really. So coming up next, we've got a Get Shit Done episode on avoiding office housework. And it's a mini episode, so if you've got a short attention span, this one will be good for you. And
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but Michelle has a really fantastic, relevant story that she shares on that episode. You don't want to miss it. Michelle, you want to say anything about avoiding office housework?
Yeah, so it's a true story. It makes me laugh now. At the time, it didn't make me laugh, but and it's not sweary, but it's slightly sweary. But anyway, it it's a good lesson in how to graciously avoid getting lumbered with our office housework. There's a really, really good one for both women who go, how to come? I always get stuck with the XYZ, that the non-promotable work. And then it's a really good one for managers to listen to go, oh, yeah, maybe I need to be a little bit more equitable because, yeah, as I said, we've got some good stories in there about it.
Absolutely. I want to second that. It's good for managers, it's good for allies to hear that episode. And what we mean, just one last thing, what we mean by non promotable work is just kind of menial tasks around an office that aren't going to contribute to you getting, say, an awesome annual review that then leads to a promotion or a raise or whatever. So it doesn't have to it's not just something like cleaning up cups or cleaning up in the kitchen. It's other menial tasks as
Yeah.
well that are kind of lumping into that umbrella.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then the episode coming up after that is it's about executive presence. And this is one that we had Susan Colantuno on with us. So it's you, me, and Susan, and I'm the one asking most of the questions and learning in that episode. And it's just so good. I think it's probably one of our best. It's a really fantastic episode you don't want to miss.
And without giving too much away again, it is not about what you wear. It's not about, what you wear, how you have your hair. So, because goodness me, how could I possibly give lectures on that, given that my hair's a different color pretty much every time you see me. But it's actually about how to attract and hold the right others' attention in the business world. So that's what executive presence is. So yeah, I really hope our listeners tune in, because there are some important actionable insights. And I think that's the thing, Mel. Every podcast that we do, we really try to not just give advice. We want it to be actionable advice. We want people to go, aha, that's the one thing I can now add to my toolkit and go away and do. It's really, really important, because we get washed in all sorts of shoulds. You should do this and you should do that. But okay, so what's the one behavioural change or the one process change that I can make? And that's what we really focus on every episode.
Absolutely. And if we've got any new viewers, new listeners out there, Susan Colantuno is the founder of A Career That Soars. She's the reason that Michelle and I are together here doing the work that we do to support women advancing in their careers. She's the author of No Ceiling, No Walls, and she gave a really important TED Talk that everyone should listen to called The Career Advice You Probably Didn't Get. So
yeah, in fact,
subscribe to Lead to Soar when you have a second. And I think, Michelle, you're going to drop a link for us in the chat.
Yep. So I have put in Lead to Soar in the chat. I've put Susan's TED Talk in the chat as well. And if you want to get a hold of No Ceiling, No Walls, which is, I think, one of the most important career and business books that women can have. And I've got to say, mine's here. Now, you might say that because I'm in this all the time, but whoops, there's the book. I use this every single week. It is so important. Yep. So it's a really, really important book, and just, again, full of actionable insights, exercises, things like that. And it's what A Career That Soars is based on. So there's a link to purchase that in the linky things in the comments. That's it. And what else was I going to link, Mel? How to join A Career That Soars. There we go. Goodness, we've got lots of links going on. And for some, go on.
Well, and for premium members, so when you get a premium membership to A Career That Soars, you will get a free virtual copy of No Ceiling, No Walls. And I want to take us back into No Ceiling, No Walls for a moment with our definition of leadership. Leadership is using the greatness in you to achieve and sustain extraordinary outcomes by engaging the greatness in others. And it's that middle piece of this three-part definition, achieving and sustaining extraordinary outcomes in your business, in your organization, that we really focus on helping women with, because it's often missing in the advice that women are given for advancing in their careers. So one piece of achieving and sustaining extraordinary outcomes is the financial piece of the business, the financial piece of what makes your organization successful and thrive. And we have an event coming up inside A Career That Soars that deals with just that. So Michelle, tell us about that.
So last month we had a workshop with Kerry Harris, who is a fellow of the Certified Practicing Accountants Association here in Australia, a board director, experienced CFO. So it was so popular that we've decided to run it again. So it's called Show Me the Money, and it's a financial acumen workshop for 90 minutes to give you the basics. So really, how are budgets formed from the strategy? How do they translate into the financial reports? What do you look at when you look at your organization's financial reports? It's very hands-on, very practical. It was very, very popular. So we're going to run it again by popular demand. We're running it again. But this is such an important topic that we'd love to invite and it is a premium members benefit, these workshops. They're free every month, but because this is such an important part of women's development, we're offering, you can buy a seat at the table, essentially. So for $22 Australian, you can participate in this workshop, and I'm going to put the link into the comments. Now, I will circle back to a couple of our platforms that don't accept links while we're live, and put that in there. But we really want to encourage women to tune on in. As I said, I've got such enormously good feedback. Kerry's a great tutor and just hugely wise around all this stuff. But again, actionable insights, really practical stuff. You get a little handbook to take away and refer to. So yeah, it's coming up on the Tuesday, the 19th of October, Australian time. So at 9 a.m. Australian time, which in the US will be Monday night around, depending what time zone, between 4, 5 or 6 p.m. In the US. For our UK friends, it's kind of a tricky time for you, and we have trouble working out our time zones, but it will be, for our premium members, will be recorded to watch on catch up.
Excellent. Okay, so dear listener, dear viewer, you can join that session. Like Michelle said, you could buy a ticket to join that session for 22 Australian dollars, which is probably like 16 or 7 US. And we'd love to see you there. It's a great way to come in and see the type of workshops, the quality of workshops that we have on a monthly basis for our premium members. And yeah, it's such an important topic for your success. And we know that a lot of people can feel intimidated by numbers. And that's why this type of learning is important. It's really critical to you for advancing in your career, understanding where your business is, where it's going, and your role in taking it there. The financial piece of it is so important. So I hope to see you there. I joined the session that was last month, and it's everything that Michelle said. It's so good. The facilitator does an excellent job, and I promise you will learn by sitting in on this.
Most definitely. So, pardon me. So there you go. That's us. Lots coming up, Mel. Lots, yeah. Which is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. So we hope to see you in there. And thank you, Michelle. It's been great to chat with
Mel.
you.
See you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.